The PBA World Championship is brought to you by 900 Global, committed to creating new possibilities in bowling through innovative motion. By Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. So Jason Belmonte takes one small step up the step ladder, and he moves on to match number 2 to take on Michael Haugen Jr. That one coming up. But first, over the course of the week, we've asked fans on PBA.com to submit questions for our More of What Matters to You fan question, brought to you by the makers of One A Day. And now, we send it down laneside. Kimberly with the question we selected for Jason Belmonte. Kimberly?
Jason, your question comes from Austin Potey of Boiling Springs, South Carolina, and he asks, since Oscar Palermo is quickly becoming a force to be reckoned with on the PBA Tour, is there any type of rivalry developing between the two of you, because he's also a very good two-handed bowler?
Yeah, Oscar and I have been bowling against each other around the world for the last 5 years. He's a good guy, a good friend of mine, and the thing is, anyone that steps up on the approach, one-handed, two-handed, one-legged, three-armed person is going to be my rival. So, I wish him all the best when he bowls. I never wish any ill against anyone, but when they're bowling against me on TV, I don't want them to beat me. So, hope that answers your question.
Well, there you have it. Rob, back to you.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Jason, for joining us live. And there is a live look at your 6th seed, Michael Haugen Jr., the native of Carefree, Arizona. Finished 4th at the Viper Championship last year, trying to improve on that at the PBA World Championship today. See a live look at the championship trophy of the PBA World Championship. That will not be handed out until Sunday. You can see it live on ESPN 1 Eastern. Michael Haugen Jr. and Jason Belmonte trying to move on to Sunday's show. They got to get through this match, and then they have to get through 2 more tomorrow. And there is Jason Belmonte trying to make the move all the way up from the number 8 seed spot. He was a 222-186 winner over Wes Smollett. Now he has to move on and take on 6th seed Michael Haugen Jr. If you go back to the World Series of Bowling, Randy, a lot of guys had problems on that left lane. Jason is handling it pretty well thus far. Now the intro for our number 6 seed.
The number 6 player owns a pair of PBA Tour titles, including 1 major from Carefree, Arizona, Michael Haugen Jr.
I want to remind you, next Saturday, live on ABC, the finals of the Tournament of Champions, a tournament that this young man won in 2008. Ten-pin, somehow avoiding contact.
To be a downgraded ball.
Well, a very unusual style for somebody that goes as straight as Michael Haugen Jr. does. He's kind of got this last step where he kind of plants. You see there's 0 slide at the foul line. Typically, Rob, you see that with power players, not with guys that go straight. Normally with guys that throw the ball as straight as Michael Haugen, you see that slide and the ball kind of coming together with that slide foot. And it's a very unusual way, and I think probably the fact that he doesn't slide at all is attributed to the knee problems he's had. As you take a look at his arsenal, using the strongest ball in Michael Haugen Jr.'s arsenal, the Bank Pearl. Come on. And right there you can see why he's using such an aggressive piece of equipment. To me, it looks like the oil's pushed down the lane. You see very little back-end reaction. Michael Haugen Jr., because he throws it straight, doesn't have the big rev rate, needs a lot of bowling ball to make a turnover down the lane.
So Haugen with back-to-back spares to open up his effort today. And he makes way for Jason Belmonte. was a bit of a novelty item a few years ago when he bowled a few events on the PBA. Oh, here comes this wonderful two-handed bowler from Australia. But he's more than just kind of a sideshow. He's not carny folk by any stretch on the PBA Tour. This is a hardcore athlete and a great competitor.
Oh, make no mistake about it. There were plenty of professional bowlers on the tour that knew about Jason Belmonte before he came out on the PBA Tour. And the scary part is that you see how good he is now. He only has one title to his credit, but his strength lies where his knowledge starts to increase. That's just going to make him that much better. So as he gets smarter, he figures out what equipment and how to throw it. He's going to be a very dangerous player out here.
Yes.
10 pins shy of opening up with a three-bagger. You talk about him getting smarter and smarter. Not obviously, some of that has to do with more time on the lanes and more tournaments, but also the fact of the knowledge you get, Randy, from your competitors and from your friends. And he and Michael Fagan and Bill O'Neill, who's your #1 seed in this tournament, spend a ton of time together on the road, and you know the conversations they have. It's just like osmosis for all three of those guys. The knowledge they are passing on to one another. Belmo takes care of the 10 and remains clean.
Yeah, that's a great point, Robbie, and you're exactly right. It's all about knowledge from this point forward for Bill O'Neill, for Michael Fagan, for Jason Belmonte, and they've got all the physical tools. Now it's all about how to use them the right way.
Those three guys you just mentioned all sharing a house here in Las Vegas for this week and next. Again, the TOC in Vegas next week. Haugen having some problems.
Too soon, not pushing too long.
We saw Wes Malott with some early struggles versus Belmo, and it's being duplicated again by Haugen Jr.
Watch how early this ball starts to hook, and then it jumps right through the face. So a little more down lane reaction on the right lane from Michael Haugen Jr. He's coming in fresh. It's a bit of a disadvantage for him because he hasn't seen the lanes go through transition.
Join the most active community of bowlers on the web by friending the PBA on Facebook. Get tournament updates, view behind-the-scenes photos, and connect with the biggest stars in bowling. And you can check out Winning Wednesdays on the PBA Facebook page for your chance to win prize packs from PBA product registered companies. Simply head to PBA.com, click on the Facebook link to get started. Three frames, three spares for Haugen. And it looks like 4 frames and 4 spares for Haugen now.
He's lost. He went light on that lane the last time he was up on it. Now he makes the adjustment, goes high. What I see right now with the equipment he's using, that ball's checking early and not laying off down the lane.
Which means ball change.
Or he has to change his line, his alignment. He may have to move in just a little bit, soften up on the speed, give the ball time to react. But he has to make a different adjustment. His angle has to change, and he may have to change bowling balls as well.
Nothing but spares for Haugen thus far. Jason Belmonte, strike, spare. Here he is in the bottom of the 4th. A strike here would give him some nice early distance from Haugen.
No, no good.
2-4-5-8 the bucket.
Wife watching. First kind of ugly shot for Jason thus far.
Well, he leaves the bucket, and it's pretty much one way to shoot this, and that's throwing it straight and hard and trying to hit the 2-5 right in the face.
And he does just that. Now take a look at the Bear Trusted Pain Relief replay, brought to you by the makers of Bear Aspirin. And here is Jason covering it up in the 4th.
Well, some players like to hook it at the bucket. I've always liked throwing it straight and hard at the bucket. Just make sure that you cover enough of the 2-pin to get the back pin, the 8-pin.
So he drops the bucket, and it's now strike, spare. The lead at 10. We begin the 5th.
The adjustment that I see that Jason Belmonte has made from the first match to this match, he's moved slightly towards the center part of the lane with the same bowling ball, and he's gotten just a pinch softer. Now, when he left the bucket on the right lane, it was too firm. You could see it. He's got to keep his speed down to get that urethane bowling ball to turn the corner.
Come on. Ball change for Haugen, and he gets all 10 to drop.
And remember, that's what we talked about. That's what you said. Is it a ball change? It was a ball change and an alignment change. He went straighter, moved to the right, and it's a great result. This ball doesn't read the front part of the lane. Michael Haugen Jr. told us yesterday in an interview he's gotten a lot smarter out here in terms of adjusting equipment, going to the right ball at the right time.
So Haugen Jr. off his first strike of the day. We begin the 6th.
Come on. Oh, yeah.
Back-to-back jacks for Haugen.
Reminiscent of what he did at the TSC a couple years ago when he was trailing to Chris Barnes. He mounted a serious comeback throwing the last 5 out of 6 strikes to win the Tournament of Champions by 1 pin.
This comeback will be televised. Haugen Jr. down by 10, but Jason Belmonte, your 8th seed, is up in the 6th when we return to Vegas. And time now for the winning touch, brought to you by Touch of Gray. Gets rid of some gray, never all. And we flash back to last season's PBA World Championship and Tom Smallwood's improbable victory. That was his first ever PBA Tour title, and he just happened to do it at a major.
Yeah, he was machine-like that day, taking down the Wes Malott, one of the greatest players on the planet. Tom Smallwood was unfazed.
One of the many great stories that came out of the PBA last season. We are all even through 5.5. Michael Haugen stringing together his first pair of strikes to pull himself even with that man, Jason Belmonte, the native of Orange, New South Wales, Australia. This Viper oil pattern has been nasty to him, but he has really tamed it thus far today.
What a beautiful shot, Rob. And when his opponent, Michael Haugen Jr., steps up and throws a double to tie the match, Jason Belmonte answers the call with a double of his own to take a 10-pin lead. Just a gorgeous shot. Remember, his mantra is trying to overpower oil patterns. What that means is that he tends to get a little too fast at times and really wrench on it with the release point at the bottom of the swing. He's got to stay within himself and keep the speed under control. He looks real relaxed.
It's easy to look relaxed when you're finally having some success on a pattern that has been a huge nemesis for you.
Oh, without question. He looks real comfortable. Obviously, he's got a favorable ball reaction. I think one of the things about a guy like Jason Belmonte, this two-handed style, is he, even with all that power, he's still able to go straight.
So the spare by Jason, he remains clean, and we go down the lane. Michael Haugen joining us live now. And Michael, you started with 4 spares and then back-to-back strikes. What was the change? Why the success now?
I went to a ball that gets to the fronts a little cleaner, squared up to the lane a little bit, went back to my strength, played straighter down the lane, using a little bit more ball speed, and so far so good. So these 2 shots are big here. Let's see if I can put 2 X's on the board and do what I came here to do.
Strike is a strike, and he will take it.
Yeah, but no professional wants to win like that, and Michael Haugen Jr. showed a lot of class by going over to Jason Belmonte and saying, hey, sorry about that. Nobody likes to win that way, but you know what? Hey,
That's me.
There's no need to apologize. That's what happened.
He didn't mean to.
Exactly.
The ball jerked early. Maybe pulled it a couple boards and went Brooklyn, and he got a great break trip in the 6 out, but now he's got a 3-bagger and a 1-pin lead. Now let's update the arsenal. Remember, he was throwing a bank pearl. He is textured down and gone to a ball that's less aggressive, but again, that's the risk you run. Getting too firm and having it blow right through the end of the oil pattern.
Leaves the double wood just when he had seized the lead and had some momentum. So he covers that one. Takes a seat with Jason Belmonte, and the all-black pops up. Your number 8 seed has trailed for what, about 30 seconds today? And that's it. Dominated Wes Malott in match number 1. On top by 1. Here's his effort in the 8th. He can max out at a 244. Haugen, just a 233. And again, problems with the 10-pin suddenly for Jason.
In 8 shots, he's thrown 7 absolutely perfect. He left the bucket in the 4th frame. He's got 4 strikes, 3 really ugly ringing 10-pins. But I love his composure. He's not getting upset. He's not going, gosh, dog it, I left another 10-pin. He's staying within himself, and he's keeping his head about it.
And he's making his spares. Randy? You know I love saying this. Time to fire up the RV. She doesn't have far to go. In fact, we really don't need to fire up unless we want to get the kitchen and the TV going and the refrigerator. We'll be right back here at South Point. Live coverage tomorrow night on ESPN2 at 8:30 Eastern. And then Sunday on ESPN. And then next Saturday, January 22nd, 2:30 Eastern, ABC, the Tournament of Champions. $1 million prize fund in that one.
Cannot wait for that tournament.
I can't wait for Saturday night when you get enshrined to the Hall of Fame. Belmo, 9th. Again, the 10, and the messenger does not deliver.
Well, he didn't like that shot immediately out of his hand, and I think he's probably satisfied with just leaving a 10-pin. However, without striking there in the 9th frame, he gives Michael Haugen Jr. the opportunity to shut him out. The best Belmo can shoot now, if he covers the 10, is 222. Michael Haugen Jr. can strike out 9th and 10th frame and shoot 233.
Didn't like the footing, and might have gotten a break there.
Remember the last time Michael Haugen Jr. was up? 7th and 8th frame. 7th frame, he went Brooklyn. 8th frame, he went light. After throwing a 3-bagger when he made the ball change.
His only 3 strikes.
A lot can go in a player's mind trying to decipher this enigma of this oil pattern when you thought you had it, and now all of a sudden you go Brooklyn light. Let's see what adjustment he makes.
Perfect stroke. 4th strike overall. 3rd on the right lane. Lead back in the Haugen camp.
Yeah, that was just a tremendous shot. He really manned up when he had to, and he knows getting it on this right lane that if he strikes in the 9th, he's got a chance to shut out Belmonte. He pured that shot. Come on. Yeah.
1 strike away from a shutout.
And Michael Haugen Jr. able to do what Jason Belmonte has not been able to do, and that's kick the 10 out with that shot right there. If Michael Haugen goes 9 spare, he shoots 222. We have the possibility of a tie. If he strikes on this next ball, it's over.
Again, he started this match with 4 consecutive spares. Since then, 5 strikes. That is in the face, but gets it to kick. And he moves on.
2 Brooklyn strikes for Michael Haugen Jr. and 3, 4 ringing 10 pins for Jason Belmonte is the undoing. Hey, when it's your day, it's your day.
Wow.
Michael Haugen Jr., he'll
Dinner's
be
on
the
me, mate.
first to admit that was a bad shot, pulled way left.
Lucky break, but I'll take it.
Gets the huge break trip in the 6-pin. Game over.
Tough one for Belmonte to swallow. A couple 10 pins down, and this is a different result. That's the way the pin falls.
I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. You know I didn't want to win it like that, mate.
That's how the game goes.
Oh, that was ugly.
It'll come back.
Ugly, but effective for Haugen. Sweeping the legs out to give him the victory. And he moves on to take on Mika Koivu-Niemi tomorrow. We'll talk about that when we return to Vegas. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by Touch of Gray. Gets rid of some gray, never all. By the USBC and its 2 million members. To find out more about USBC, log on to bowl.com today. By the makers of One A Day Men's 50+ Advantage, the multivitamin with more of what matters. And by Barbazol. Start your day with Barbazol Shaving Cream, America's leader for a close, comfortable shave. We welcome you back to Vegas. Don't miss the PokerStars.net Caribbean Adventure main event live on ESPN2 and ESPN3.com. For the first time, Randy, at a major poker tournament, they will reveal players' hole cards, which apparently is a big thing. I don't know much about poker, but it sounds groundbreaking.
Yeah, the players can see everybody's hole cards, man. That changes everything.
Oh, all right. Well, good. Well, I'm looking forward to watching that Saturday. Sunday. Time now, Randall, for the Geico Championship recap.
Well, our first match, Jason Belmonte took down the big nasty 222, 186, throwing that urethane ball nice and straight and throwing some beautiful shots. Then in the next match against Michael Haugen Jr., Michael Haugen Jr. makes a huge adjustment, bowling ball and line. Throws a 3-bagger, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Capitalizes on the biggest break of the tournament for him right there, going Brooklyn to shut out Jason Belmonte.
So the PBA World Championship field is down to 6. Your 6th seed moves on with the 13-pin victory, and he's standing by downstairs with Kimberly.
Well, Michael, you got 2 lucky breaks today, getting 2 Brooklyns. You can't count on that for tomorrow. What is your mindset moving forward?
Obviously to make better shots, first and foremost. I was fortunate today. My opponent bowled a better game, and I was lucky to carry 2 Brooklyns, and that's the game sometimes. And it's unfortunate he did bowl a better game, but I have to get myself ready for tomorrow, and that's all I can do. Just try and make better shots tomorrow when I'm in the same situation. So.
Well, congratulations on moving up the step ladder for tomorrow's live telecast.
And he will take on Mika Koivu-Niemi, your number 5 seed. Coverage begins with live at the PBA World Championship at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Our coverage going all the way up to the 10 o'clock hour on the East Coast. Jason Belmonte taking care of Wes Malott, but not enough in his arsenal to take down Michael Haugen Jr., who lives to bowl another day. When we return to Las Vegas, it'll be tomorrow night. Day 2 of 3 of our coverage of the PBA World Championship. Belmo looked to be in good shape through much of match number 2, but then the 10-pin came to bite him, and Michael Haugen Jr. with some lucky breaks advances. Dari and Jay standing by in the ESPN Sports Center studios. For Kimberly, Randy, and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. Thanks for watching from Vegas. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night on ESPN2 at 8:30 Eastern.